with top teams within the region, but never actually realizing that, never making it across that, I guess, over that final hurdle, right? So I think you're absolutely right. The state of flux is the perfect way to describe it. It's interesting. We're going to see them face off actually in this scenario.
Yeah. Do you know what, the one thing I'm super excited about, because main Skye, we get the polarizing way to play it, right?
Yes.
You're going to have your big brain Skye on Eccles, right? Essentially kind of your IGL, more flash, more info, more kind of finding all that. And then you get the theorized kind of almost duelist-esque Skye as well with Shalaby, the new addition. This is going to be glorious between these two.
So actually, this round going to open up with Loki going to swing out double doors initially. You're going to actually coming through. Brams looking like they want to walk through at least here, and we're going to walk in through. JD going to find a lot of space up tube, giving up the entry to a site seemingly for free here. Now it's going to be interesting to see whether IP can actually figure this out with the early positioning. I'd say going in their favor right now. It's Vitality giving A up for retake altogether.
Yeah, maybe feeling it's easier to play retake on. But they don't have much info. I guess they've been given at least a sound cue or two. There goes the Omen utility. They can play through that, though. With Skye and Sova, you get plenty of information. So, okay, first information found toward the double doors and a deep hold towards the back of A, so that's no real problem. And the catch of the rotation through tube is something that's in the back of my mind. Spike is down, but Vitality did pressure mid early. We saw it. So now we know, okay, well, this is where things get dicey. NIP know about this, though, and instantly Chihuahua has turned attention. A man that we want to pay attention to, especially in the new role. See how he's suiting towards it. And pretty well thus far. Looking for the follow-up. Gets it, too. This is lovely work from NIP. Need to see what Eccles could do here as well. Side goes in. Nothing kind of caught with that flash on the left side, so focusing towards the right. And the crossfires are decent so far.
And actually the combination of the snake bite is Vac going to find his third there. It's down to Rhyme now. Sender with the jump peak. Well, actually better him.
Very nice.
With the classic and a well-considered round. And initially, again, I was concerned about that walk mid as two, and then there was a third player thrown in the mix, but it was all kind of an emphasis on that fast flank through towards Cave. Yes, there was a spy cam up there. Obviously, with JD walking through tube very early on in that round, so it was figured out. But again, Vitality came out on top of this. You can see here, JD fell very quickly after that information was garnered. Chihuahua did respond with a couple of kills, but it wasn't enough to really, I guess, get a decent grasp on control there in the post plant.
For me, Vac was the standout. I think NIP's plan, technically, I would say on paper, looked better. You could see the theory to it, but then you just had Vac digging them out with 2 quick kills that actually kind of brought that post plant way back into check. And that flank that could have been a little bit more dangerous never really came to much. Regardless, we go back in, we dip back through to this, and big info found from Loki. Good tag, too. Actually, tell a lie, didn't actually get any damage? That looks so on. All right, fair enough.
There were enough targets there, that's for sure.
Yeah, like out of the 3 hits, none. Fair play. Let's see if they get anything for this, though. NIP are just on the classics. There's been, small bits and pieces. Actually, very little invested, even in the utility department, so keeping it super clean. A Sheriff for Kriya and a little for JD, but again, Loki's still present. Flash comes in, forcing him off the angle. They're going to crunch down towards the kind of L-bed, and that's gorgeous. That's worked perfectly, and now a Chihuahua making himself the danger man in this round. That's cost him a fair crack, and keep in mind with the Viper utility coming through, gonna slice this site up into more manageable pieces, and Chihuahua starts flexing out, but they haven't really checked on Sender. He's still a problem. Bear in mind, they are on pistols. They've recovered a couple, but Chihuahua makes light work of it. And now, Brams and Shalaby, well, let's see what this newer edition can do. Brams is a good position, and Shalaby's a mile away. Has he DC'd? Is he just chilling? Is this keep the gun and ignore the round?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a DC. We'll leave it up to speculation. Maybe just hold it that angle just in case there. But yeah, NIP able to get bodies onto B-side. I didn't even notice it. 3 kills and the plant in the pistol, and then obviously falling. Gave Chihuahua a really good opportunity to get the Bladestorm online here. What a massive tool to respond back in round 2 with a little bit of a purchase around that.
But I do want to highlight as well how nicely that was set into play, though, right?
Yeah,
like the pop through towards the elbow sort of side of things, right? And it's why I love
always back.
Skye. And there we are, Shalaby's here the whole time, no worries. Oh, okay, it's not pretty. It doesn't get to keep the gun. Rams will keep his. And that's about all she wrote. 1-1 thus far. And yeah, I love that. Kind of, you know, again, if you're looking at this map and you're being practical, okay, we're on, let's say, Classics, couple of sheriffs, and we do have that Blade Storm. So this was lovely work. This was kind of after the initial 2 that created so much space. They put it into such manageable approaches, and this is something that, again, for Eccles, I have to say, if he's being the IGL, maybe he's got, you know, Existence, a Kukos in the background, but I love the theory crafting, right? Like, I feel like the ideas are correct.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and a big matchup is one you've already mentioned, right, is between Eccles and Shalaby, and there's 2 very, very different styles we're going to see on Sky here as Pete try and send out a couple of information probes here onto A. Now, a few more bodies this time to at least defend entry from Vitality, but Shalaby got to be careful. Actually, look at that. Perfect flash through. Loki going to find the first. Shalaby follows up. Brams also going to respond there. Everything going right for Vitality in the early round, and down to just Eccles and JD here to see if they can recover this. But it's on the back of no investment, Lauren.
True, but none of the rifles so far are recoverable. They're all still pretty deep towards A, so it's not like an instant upgrade yet for Vitality, but obviously they have the numbers and they have a good position now. I would say Viper's position is filthy, but it is a little dangerous, and Eccles is going to punish. That's created space. Speaking of that, JD now leers forward. Now, the other player was towards double door, didn't quite catch it, flashed deep towards site, didn't catch the information, so they know maybe they can plant on that default side, but it's a fake. JD looking for that player, but Vac's not giving it up yet. Brams doubled up towards the short side of sight. Taps away, JD could do with another. Vac's denied it. He needs to clutch again. He was the man who made that first round possible, but Eccles, calm under pressure. The big man's got it. No worries. 2-1. Costly, though. Vitality made that so costly.
Yeah, it is. And ultimately, that's such a... The pressure is on for NIP to be the one to make a move. They have to end up on A, right? If they don't, it's man advantage and the weapons get recovered. Vitality can very easily play retake with a man advantage there if they decide to come back over to B. So fair play to JD and Eccles to kind of hold line. Like you said, remain composed in that scenario. But it did cost them. A decent buffer still in terms of the economy, and Vitality pretty much tapped out with this purchase here, and Loki actually on the operator, no armor available. He's got to get a couple of kills to get that Blade Storm online to ride it out if he does lose this weapon.
Take flight.
NIP a little slower in approach here. And they get a different variation from Vitality once again. It seems once they've got this operator online, they do post it up to hold on to that entry on a site alongside Shalaby. Now, once information goes over, and NIP, after spotting the operator, looks as if they want to consider moving towards Sender on B site.
Poison's off.
I've got see how they respond to now noting that opts out in play. So already ult comes in, going to give away the game towards Sender, who's actually fine. The flashes, the utility exchange worked pretty favorably, at least for one, towards Korea. Excellent trade. So JD's position, an absolute turret, puts himself in prime pole position to punish. And now Loki, well, that op's been instantly negated, navigated around. And what can he do to deny it? A safe plant keeps it all copacetic. And now look at these post-plant positions. JD's already a little further ahead. You got Cypher making it trickier. He's got full fact, but a shoulder peek. He dares to go back through after the shot, takes the angle. Loki's out of there. You know you're going to be saving that up.
Yeah, it becomes such a burden on the economy here with this purchase coming through. So reasonably early with how this has gone in terms of 2-1. This is okay. Yeah, get out of there. Rhyme already deep and hunting.
Worth a chase.
I mean, they're closing in on him. They really want to punish this. It's absolutely the right decision to do so. Like I said, that Blade Storm not going to be online to ride through in a lesser purchase for Vitality. But I don't think they're going to be able to get close enough. So Loki will cling on for dear life. Here, initially, I mean, Sender's done fantastically well to find those first two. It's so easy. JD just spinning on that second as well. Vac gets dropped. Again, it's so easy for that Viper on B side to become overwhelmed, especially when there's some presence shown towards Tube, towards A in the early round. Yep. That tunnel player or nest player that's typically playing towards mid, you drift away, it leaves it wide open.
So my mind...
Sorry, that combo there. The spy cam into the
Yep.
wall bag with the operator was so close to getting the kill on Brams.
Theory, pretty nasty. But again, keep in mind towards Loki, he's the kind of danger man here. He's the one who could be the instigator to change. The rest, okay, Vac's got his ult coming out. Shalaby does have his, but I want to see how much they are willing to invest if anything starts going their way. Instantly, it has been equalized. Already back down to that 4v4. Post-plant comes in, and the ult becomes slightly harder to find that value for. And again, how much are you willing to risk here? Let's see if they find anything else with these maybe sheriffs. And actually a big investment. They're going to put the utility in. The ultimate's going to come down. Shalaby's going to try and create the space for it. Chihuahua's in trouble. Bit of a glass cannon now, but still just fine. JD eats that.
JD.
What? That's so filthy. He is just so on today. And now Brams outdone, outgunned, no problem for NIP 4-1. I thought there could have been a bit of a threat at the end, but no, it was well contained, well controlled. So no worries.
Interesting to throw the Seekers out there as well. I mean, yes, a couple of sheriffs, but yeah, I don't know. It seemed a little desperate, if you ask me.
I mean, for me, when I'm thinking about the Seekers as well, especially with that kind of lead-up time to the site, it's not like you're going to be able to instantly push into that, right? It's like that little cubby,
It's so
that
deep.
little
Yeah,
corner.
exactly.
It's just not as usable. You know, this map is tricky for Sky in that aspect. I would say the ult can be a little difficult, especially towards A, because you can't capitalize on it quickly. But speaking of ults, Viper's got to put up, well, pretty much the pit towards B. I don't think that's going to be an easy access point anymore.
Again, completely zoning off that a choke that leads into B, and Loki actually now does have the Blade Storm online. You can see he's the one without a weapon here, so going to ride that through on this purchase, as I was saying earlier. NIP will freeze momentarily if anything else is given away. Paranoia actually sent through a little preemptively. Look at this, actually. This could go terribly for NIP, because Vitality actually leaning towards B here. Loki has seen nothing on A site, and you can see the drift already happening.
God seems to have a good inclination as to where Loki may be. Ooh, no.
I hate that.
Loki, look how brave he is. Hold on. Look at this. He's re-aggressing. I love it. Barrel now. Korea! You absolute heartbreaker, you. Loki had such an opportunity, and now they lean back. Now, the big difference maker is there's still a player on the site. How much can Brams do, potentially, to hold this all by himself? He's got support in CT, but Vac might as well be on another island right now, as here comes the hit. Flash now to hand. High flash comes in, curves towards CT. Information, but it catches Rhyme more than anything. So now Bram's able to get away with murder. It's a murder scene on the site, and look at this. It's just Chihuahua now, who had that little bit of a tricky exchange earlier on. 4 seconds, just wants to keep the op, but be a little more aggressive about the posturing. But that got kind of out of check real quick.
Hey, I mean, most of that actually recovered on the back of Brams. Yes, a little bit of a team fight. Vac actually finds Chihuahua at the end there, so the operator will be lost out. Yeah, I mean, I love the use of the Hunter's Fury there just to cut off that double door. Again, Brams left on an island on site here, and you can see actually, after smoking off main, he has nothing left in terms of utility, so it relies on him going big and at least drawing a little bit of attention away so that his teammates can pinch through. Vitality put their second on the board now. Again, fragile in terms of the economy. And NLP still sitting on a little bit of a buff up. Couple of key ultimates coming online though. Viper's Pit nearly online for Korea, and actually going to take this orb and will be available in this round. Also, Chihuahua and Eccles, not too far off. JD actually close to the neural theft as well. Now, previously, the way the last 2 rounds have gone, Lauren, you can see Vitality pretty much tapped out now. Bram's the only one with his ultimate available.
So they've shown intention towards A. They've got kind of, I guess, the Omen and the Sova lean. Maybe now trying to re-aggress towards B, which isn't a bad shout. They're trying to pull the additional man, basically, which I don't mind. Now the TP comes out, Brams, that's bold. Did he get much for that, though? I don't think he saw anything. So he's still going to be paranoid about middle. He's still going to be considering that A piece coming through. There's still a chance of it, so they can't read into this just yet. Now, this could be a pop flash through. The extras back in for Eccles. They have basically a 5v1, make it 5v2, as Loki is on the way over, playing through from Connector. Chihuahua down a little lower, but will build back up, and Sender just trying to play set. Oh, that's a freebie you'll take every day of the week. Eccles now down. That's a big loss there. That's a spike having to be recovered. It is, but look at Sender playing this so perfectly. He has no idea that JD is here. Walks into the trap, loses his life. Wall goes back back up. They need the spike down, and they've got it.
The spike cam actually spotted the information as well. This elbow flank coming through. He will eat that first flash, but what? He found Salami through the Viper's pit here. Bram's going to slip on through, but the pressure building. JD cannot miss.
That's 2 kills. He couldn't see the player twice. The pure intuition just working perfectly, and Loki now presented with a 1v3, and Kriya's been the nuisance that he was meant to be, but he does lose his life. Ult now down, but JD is there, and JD's had a tear this round.
I mean, so far through this game, that's his, what is his second 4K?
Something like that.
Another insane round on the back of JD. Again, the spy cam positioning spots out perfect timing for it to find this first kill here on Sender after he made it very difficult. See there just instantly. And he's ready, poised and waiting. Eats that flash, but yeah, if you're Shalabi, that's look, this is purely off audio. So well played. So well played.
And don't get me wrong, yeah, Brams was kind of like flush to the wall, so he just kind of followed along that line, and again, just crushed it. Now, NIP have identified that mid's, I don't want to say available, but it's optional. Chihuahua's there with Eccles, they pressured it. Now they know that, okay, Sky's leaning towards A, careful, could be a flash, let's kind of fall away from this. There it is. They're expecting this very well. They're predicting the plays, but Shalabi's reaggressed on it and actually taken that space back, so kind of reaffirming control. Flash comes out. I think that got denied potentially, or simply didn't find Shalabi, so should be still okay to go. Still good to get one going. Not bad trade. I have to see if now Eccles is aware that there's another. It doesn't matter. Kriya's got his back, and none of those cheeky little quirky angles really work out much here.
Just Sender and Vac left standing, and the neural theft going to reveal all the information. That's why we see NRP going to hightail it towards A site. And brute force on with this numbers advantage, but Vac will find one. Kriya responds elsewhere. The shock dart decent for a little bit of damage, but
oh, this is
no
doable.
Kill just yet. Look at Vac right now. What?
He made it into 1v1s. The initial flash made them almost kind of in a false sense of security, right? They didn't get any sort of ping on it. He was sat down, tucked in by those stairs, found the sky, turns it. I mean, those kills were so quick before the communication could even come in. Look at this again. So the flash came in, didn't see anything. So now Vac now gets away with one for free. Tries to deal with the site, does some damage, but now looks to isolate towards the double doors. Catches off Kriya. The aim's just gorgeous. But then there was Rhyme, who's kind of been the back line of this, but that was close as hell.
I mean, this is, again, one of the most exciting, I'd say, byproducts of that No Penky roster, right, was Vac.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of that magic that we haven't seen in a while, I'll be honest. But it's still there. Vitality, put the brakes on now, call attack timeout. We just try and reset a little bit. Again, economy, not looking too comfortable. It's... Again, just previously with that Viper's Pit round, you can see straight away the orb retrieval. Don't even want to mess with A. The plan is let's hit B. Let's get that Viper's Pit down. It's a lot more considered in approach from an IP. That's what I'm saying. And then again, it's no surprise really. This is a roster. Once again, we're talking about the structure, right?
Yeah.
How well planned out things are with Eccles coming online. Actually, for an IP, you could say that only gets stronger really to have somebody like a Kukos in the background and then Eccles in game.
It's actually, and this is the thing, I don't even want to really bring this discussion into real practice, but just as a thought experiment, the concept of those two working in tandem is a very, very interesting idea.
Yes,
now,
yeah.
as said, I don't even want to kind of discuss it before it's even a thing or if it's ever going to be a thing, but it's a nice, as said, little experiment to consider. Now, again, damage is going to be key here, doing a bit of work, maybe getting a rifle away, but it's going to be a set piece towards B.
Okay.
He got noted. I don't know if he got tagged. Well, he is now.
Yeah, now he is.
Rhyme's gonna be like, yeah, have a bit of that. No worries. And the site's theirs. Again, this site take that NIP have been doing either against it's kind of their anti-eco, I guess. It's worked very well for them. It's very clean. It seems very considered.
The thing is as well, and B-site's an interesting discussion on Breeze, but it's so easy to get overwhelmed because your Viper playing up close. Yes, they've got the snake bites, but ultimately, I mean, by the time they're both invested, a team can still just get in, right? That Sober drone and the recon bolt, the site's for free. I mean, because Sender has to play deep enough. He plays behind wall. He can just get spammed out of there. It becomes so difficult to stop this kind of push.
And they've secured CT as an exit point as well.
Yeah,
So they can easily filter away. Like, this is actually a really nice round from NIP. I do want to highlight that. I love a good, clean anti-eco. And it sounds...
Diligent.
Yeah, and it sounds easy, right? Like, all the Papagas are like, of course the Rifles will
Recon
win
bolt.
against it. What's so impressive? But again, keeping things clean, kind of good approaches. And I don't think we've seen a team yet, to an extent, at least... Oh, God, why? I genuinely thought it was NIP dying then. Holy... I almost swore. I was like, don't do this to me. It took me a second. It's fine. It's all good. Don't worry. But... And again, I want to talk about teams who have that ability to run clean anti-ecos. In games like Counter-Strike, for example, you got a couple more rounds to play with, right? It's not...
Yeah,
It's imperative, sure, but it's not the end of the world. MR12 is brutal.
It is.
If you can convert these cleanly, you keep their money humbled, you're going to kind of deny bits and pieces of utility, keep yours building nicely. And speaking of money, they're sitting on like 5.5k here. They're pretty much golden. And it's, again, showing this B piece, and it's almost rinse and repeat. They've got the look to it. I want to see the counter to it. What do Vitality have in store? This looks like their answer. Pop the ults and hope for the best. Well, they found one and Shalaby's found a second. That's the man we want to be seeing. Is the superstar that came across the court everyone's eye over at that Red Bull event, and now he's looking pretty tasty here. And NIP are down in pieces.
Actually, immediately stopped in their tracks on the back of that ultimate from Vac. A couple of kills to follow up. Shalaby here. JD might actually just catch him, and he's sharp today. Vac will fall and actually opens things up. Look at that, JD from the top rope. The neural theft not available, though. You try spamming out. Give me the corpse.
I actually really like it. I don't know why. It kind of makes me happy when I hear it.
I'm sad we don't hear it from the observer, Pov, though. Like, you only hear that from, like, the oh, did Chihuahua just spot the barrel? The timing there is actually brutal as well, because Loki drifted back from behind pillar.
Okay. I mean, it is down to a 1v1. It's super favorable to Brams. But JD's...
He's not...
Oh, JD. He's so smart in checking this as well. He took the time on it, yeah. And look at the mid position coming out
No
from Chihuahua.
way.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. They've been nutmegged on this round, and Sender's feeling a little silly here. A 1v2, and he's going to have to
How?
retake in the dark. That was perfect. What a read. Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually...
Sender knows it. As soon as
Yeah.
you start just, you know, thudding on in, you know you're in danger. There's
It's
the trade.
another 4K.
Bloody hell, JD.
Was that a 2v5?
It might have been.
I don't want to know, but I guess we should probably check that, because it felt like a 2v5.
So that's... Again, this was...
Perfect setup, right? People in the
Yeah.
right place. The pinch comes through from mid.
It was a 2v5.
It was a 2v5.
And then actually at that point, like they just sit, they freeze for a second. Chihuahua and JD basically go off solo, right? They split. It's an interesting approach to try and play out the latter half of that round, but it's absolutely clinical from JD.
You
Once
don't
again.
get to see that often. That's lovely. I could watch that sort of thing all day long. That was... real nice. Brams, what are you up to? Is aggression the answer that you want? Oh, but look at Chihuahua. He seems aware of the chance. I don't know if there was a step made or something, but very aware that this could be an answer to it. Brams on the other side. Okay, falls away. So information found. But they've been caught by this before. They overly read into this A piece. NIP backed away and then hit that B side. But I guess with the ult in there, Loki needs it, gets it. Good work. Good adjust there towards Chihuahua. Dips into the smoke, gives himself some safety. Flash comes out to maybe slow down the piece. But NIP, they're not actually fully committed yet.
Well, they're not. Damage done, I guess, initially. Actually, the recon bolt going to tag as well, but... Shalaby doing a really good job of slowing this down, but no flashes left, and NIP will creep closer and closer on the back of that.
Loki. And get a nice combination with the sky there. Flash up in 15. That's a lifetime at this point, but great work to turn the flash. Dips through as well. There's the aim. Shalaby looking gorgeous with this work, and Vac's got his back. absolutely no problem that time around. You can see this man's diligence. I want to see what he can keep bringing to this. Again, first time myself getting to cast this guy, see him firsthand, and he looks solid so far.
Again, I mean, we can talk confidence builders, right? In terms of a new addition, that's what we want to see, especially with the scoreline like this. You can see actually elated to close that round out. Now, financially won't mean an awful lot here. Chihuahua actually got enough to throw the operator into the last round if he sees fit. Neural Theft and the Viper's Pit available, and we'll see if NIP once again lean towards that B execute. Retrieve this orb. Nice, at least give away some of the audio cues, and 2 players spotted actually here. Again, we'll show a little presence, a little chip damage done. JD actually in position to potentially pinch. Shalaby gets the better of him.
I got a bit of hope this round. Dig their heels in now. Rams, the line. Oh, he had two dead to rights. Back just try and buy some time on this potential B piece. I'm looking the lurk from Sky as well. There it is. Eccles finds Shalaby, so that's really going to be a big cutoff. Okay, and now Loki on the flank. Oh, he's got Kriya.
Thank God for that. The first 2 bullets went astray there.
Do they know where Eccles is? Hold on. No, they don't. Hold on. He's actually gone away with this. He's seen Loki as well. He knows where he is. He's got 30 seconds still to play with right now. He's going to lose track of Loki to an extent. He has another flash in 7 seconds. Clears down towards main. He's predicting this. He's predicting this so well off the back of that flash, but it's down to the aim now by his side, and Loki gets him first, saving Vitality from another nightmare.
Oh. And that's a big round. In terms of the score, the way that half played out, Lauren, the fact we're looking at an A4 scoreline is nothing short of a miracle for Vitality. But it's the foundation. It's the building block to potentially come back in the second half. Now, Pistol in the round 2, we're looking at a 2-round deficit. That's a lot to ask for, though. Everything leaning in NIP's favor initially, and again on the flip side of that, Pistol in a round 2's double digits, and that's a terrifying prospect with the way JD's been playing on attack. I mean, it's got to be all in pieces here from Vitality. I dare to say if it comes to the mid and late round, JD I feel is going to run rampant in that lurk role.
Correct read. 3 players here. Look at Chewie's position. Ready and waiting. Flashed up, sure, but he's going to be able to deal with Loki. Fall into that little cubby spot as well. Stays alive, but they did lose Kriya. There is still an additional man, but JD's got his back. He's got 2. Dragging him to the grave. Going to see it all coming through. Eats the flash, doesn't matter. He's got the spike. He knows that they're somewhat safe here. But numbers being chipped away at. Now, the HP is a little low on Chihuahua. Working through towards mid. It's Vac and Sender. Utility. Vac's got a little, not a lot. Sender's all out. Pops up the wall to give them maybe a little bit of a clear towards the close angles, but you know NIP are playing that spike. Clears out by the wall, looking down towards CT. There's the dip through. Chihuahua puts his life on the line. We'll lose it, but for a 1-for-1 trade. And now both of them stacked up at pillar. That's nasty.
And they will... I've gone through, and Eccles, I'm pretty sure, is due a flash in the next couple of seconds. They will hang tight for the time being. They're going to actually double swing this. Look at that. Again, completely offbeat. Don't want to even give him the opportunity. Build back into that round. And NIP put the pistol up, and that's the 9th on the board for them. Everybody in the right place for that. And again, it's JD from backside. It does absolute wonders for them. Chihuahua actually, again, spotted out by the drone. You could argue should have fallen there first. I think an unfortunate flash. I'm not sure if it was a team flash or what, but Chihuahua was actually able to survive for way longer than he should have.
And JD playing it well. I mean, keeping himself somewhat safe and kind of playing smart around it. And I like how Eccles is approaching this on the defensive side. You saw him over towards double doors in the first round. Now he's over towards B. Gonna just kind of give early info and then peel away. It looks like he wants to be kind of quick to rotate, try and find those early bits of information. He's going to find a fair amount towards Brams. That's one player noted. Going to at least kind of deny middle as a rotation route if wanted. But if anything, it might confirm this suspicion towards this A piece coming in. Already 3 players leaning this side. It's going to be Jet kind of playing towards Tube, so not a complete lean, but it is a mid-take thus far from the attacking side. 4 players trying to work through towards those double doors.
Well, early on, and again, we can look at what Vitality were trying at a similar time on the timeline, right? Is they were way more proactive. They were trying to walk mid as 3, for example. And NIP now, I mean, with the pressure on Vitality, NIP don't need to. They can sit and wait for Vitality to have to push through one of these choke points. And it's looking like double doors is going to be the preferred option. Now, Rhyme, put that recon bolt right above. Nobody entering through just yet. So it's not going to actually get a ping. There we go. Perfectly positioned. And it will garner him 2 kills on the way in.
It was a Sophie's choice, right? We either sit here and wait and die, or we push forward, get revealed, and die. There's no good way out of it. Such great work from Rhyme.
Beautiful.
And he reaps the rewards. What a brilliant round from Rhyme there. I love that.
And again, it's that point as well. There's so much that round has just ticked away in terms of the clock that you can sit there. Again, the recon bolt play is perfect. It's like, yes, you either sit in that choke, allow us to absolutely suffocate you, or you walk out and I'm going to shoot you through your own wall. It's perfect.
It's that sort of thing. Just you can't love it enough. I'll take that every day of the week. And again, keeps his composure. You can see him very aware of the pressure coming in from several of the angles, still isolating the correct fights, buying the time, no overextension. Oh, can't get enough of that.
Nice as well, which is something we touched on very early on this map, but actually come back to that as Loki going to open things up. Eccles will fall in elbow. Korea going to have to retreat, put that wall up, try and slow things down a little bit. Vitality strike first. And second and third, I guess. Yeah, down to just Korea and Chihuahua now.
I mean, it's bonus round time.
Out of my way.
Bit of a supermarket sweep, go around, grab all the goodies. Used to hate that show sometimes. Like, why didn't you get the expensive items? They're like picking up tins of soup. You know what I mean? Did you ever watch Supermarket Sweep?
Of course I did.
Of course you did. I used to think, why wouldn't you just like get your arm as like a little scoop and just, you know, across?
It did used to upset me, yeah, because some people are just really bad at shopping.
Yeah, I didn't realize that TV was obviously slightly scripted, but you know, at the time I was like,
wait, it was scripted?
Sorry to break it to you. I'm so sorry.
Ruined my childhood.
I know. But this is the bonus round. This was NIP bringing over the lighter weaponry. No real... I don't know, not too much to write home about. I mean, taking down Loki, I guess, is one part of it. But...
Just to come back, and again, we touched on this kind of stylistic difference between Shalabi and Eccles, right? And that previous round with Rhyme is a perfect example, right? Especially on defense, where, again, that initiator role isn't necessarily frontline. Eccles can sit on bridge and basically, like, it's like chess master, right? It's I'm sending a flash through for you, hide behind the boxes. Rhyme times it perfectly as well, but it's that... It's kind of that epitomizing that support role, right? And it's two very different approaches. We say if you put a duelist on Sky, they're self-sufficient, right? They flash themselves in. They can do things like that. You put a player like Eccles on, who is support-oriented. It's actually beautiful to see some of the set pieces you can come together with.
It's super nice. I mean, I like to think I'm the Shalabi Sky, but I'm pretty sure I'm the Eccles Sky. Look, I play with people who are way better than me mechanically these days. So I'm like, you know what? I'll let you know what, you have the spotlight. Go off. And at this point, I mean, if you are working with someone like, even just like someone like JD having a great game or Chihuahua popping off a little bit, you're like, yeah, absolutely. Let me try and poster you guys up. Now, at this point, let's look at what Chihuahua does here, though. He's going to be pressured a fair amount towards middle. So again, eyes off mid. They don't have a great deal of facts this time around to work with. They can't instantly have the correct rotation. And interesting approach from the Viper as well. I want to see what Korea does here. He's kind of playing slightly blind, but there goes the wall. So he's got a good idea. But look how this is sliced up. Almost into quarters. And there go... Now, the Seekers. Gonna force him away. Great response from Loki. I was waiting to see if he'd actually push on it, but Korea still alive. Needs to take one more with him. That would be ideal. Able to only get one at this point, but the site's now gonna be swarmed. This should be Vitality walking away with this, unless Eccles does something more. But that was a great site take.
Really, really nice hit, actually. And yeah, Korea's done well to even find Loki on the first, but again, it's a diversion play for them to slip through main. I guess on the toxin cooldown and with no snake bites left available. Oh. Who's that in the background?
Oh, a little crab.
Yeah.
See, is that... It's not Heather doing that, though. Who's doing the free cam? By the way, we do have Sapphire being an incredible observer today, if I'm not mistaken, which is always a joy, always a pleasure. I don't know, who's doing the free cam? Who found the crab? Who's been doing the homework? Whoever you are.
I need an
great
answer
work.
immediately.
Yeah, can we get that in the Discord? Let us know. I love a good observer. Can't go wrong with them.
Why has Mel not shown us the crab before? That's what I want to know.
That's what I'm saying. Mel's been slacking. Like, yeah, she catches like every kill and stuff.
Put
but
that in the feedback channel. Just
yeah,
sec.
we'll put it in. We'll have a meeting about it, and we're talking nonsense because, as you can see, apart from Chihuahua, this is a very light round, and oh, it's gone very poorly, hasn't it?
It's not off to a good start. I think Vitality well equipped to deal with this push through. As I say that, Eccles is going to respond with a kill. That wall dropping. JD unable to get any damage through just yet, but two members of Vitality actually tagged up. If NIP can do any further damage with these pistols, and now with Eccles getting a Vandal on board.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. Loki was a little lower, 61 HP still to play. This feels horrible. This doesn't feel clean at all.
Get out of there.
It's feeling nasty. Can they do any more? Can they deny the defuse? Can they do everything they need? Let's have a little look here. Any more damage is good. If you take it away from 3, that's not bad. But you can see the post plants pretty decent, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pretty alright.
Shock Dart and the Snakebite combo. Korea will actually find a consolation, and again, talk bigger picture. Only 2 rifles saved together on the side of Vitality. Now we'll have to see what dent that leaves on the economy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking actually, yeah, that previous it was what, the 1 Marshall, then the Bladestorm invested from NIP. So again, Sender on a massive buffer. I was going to say it potentially leaves them with only 1 round in hand, but looking fairly flush for the time being. Viper's Pit available, Bladestorm online for Vitality. Actually, Korea will pop his Viper's Pit off the rip. Close off this entry towards A site. To see if Vitality try and pivot away from this now. Set pretty deep in this default, actually, anticipating maybe a little bit of aggression coming across from elbow, maybe JD drifting out here, but so Vitality actually going to set up towards tube and mid here, and maybe still challenge through the Viper's Pit.
It looks like that's the play. I mean, if they cancelled this, then sure, but being given a lot of freedom through here. There's a little bit of utility that might make it tricky to go forward. And now with the Seekers, that's kind of just trashed the kind of, I guess, quieter play that was coming through from Tube. Flash goes in, doesn't find anything for it. I didn't hear the pop. But they're going to be on the back of it. Shalabi's going to find Korea. There's a trade out, though. Let's keep in mind how this goes. And suddenly there go the Seekers on the other side. Right now, going to get headshots galore, but only going to find one of them. Eccles has his back to the back of the bridge. But what a shot from him. And now down to the 1v2. It's Sender with it all to do.
The Neural Theft popped as well. Yes, Sender gets his Viper's Pit online to replace Korea's as he falls, but
Toxin screen down.
NIP with a lot of time left in this retake here. Sender going to try and take matters into his own hands. Chihuahua just charging through. The run and gun will shut him down. He was only down to 1 shot, and NIP will put their 11th on the board and say everything building back in NIP's favor there on the retake, and a lot of time left to dig him out of that hole.
Chat just caught up with the crab and someone started spamming, the lads want crabs.
Which lads are these then? I need to have a word with them.
I don't know at this point. I really don't.
It sounds like some Magaluf chant from 2007.
Down at MAGA.
Yeah.
Oh, outstanding. Oh, that does bring me such joy. 11-7. We go back in, and it is a build back for Vitality to an extent, but how much can it last? Now, you mentioned it, Sender did have the big old bank, but Chihuahua, he's getting peaky on it. Yeah, that's nasty. That's confidence play from Chihuahua there to find Vac to start with as well. That's an ult now removed from this round that they could have potentially depended on in that post plant if they could get there. But Loki wants to utilize his as best he can, slicing up through middle, takes Eccles' head as a trophy, gonna dash through towards the doors, gets denied by JD with the trade there. Brams could have done with that double, but no, denied it. And now the 2v2, but Korea's heard all of this. He's heard these steps. He's got to know what they're doing. Now he waits. The barrel might show first, but the timing's... Sender! He's absolutely done him!
Rhyme.
Spike planted.
Got decent timing on this flank here, but he has to find Sender.
Man.
Yeah, 5 HP. He cannot make a sound before finding Sender.
Do you check on this? And how much do you check on this? You might give it a quick
No, he's
glance,
walking back
but
elbow. Oh, no. No, he gets it. Yeah.
toast.
Pretty big.
Absolute toast.
Yep. Again, initially, I mean, it's a little bit awkward when you see Loki try and make a play like that to close the distance on the Owl drone, but recovered nonetheless on the side of Vitality. They do find themselves actually ending up on B, where NIP were the first to strike.
This is the interesting one. They've broken the back of the money. This could be a decent
you know
run.
what? I was about to say, now if you look at it, that buffer's still there for Vitality, right? They could they could play numbers here, play trades. It come down to even just 2 surviving. They still have a round in hand, and they've closed the distance now. It's only 3 rounds to separate them here. NIP on 11. This is potentially Vitality bringing it to 2.
It's the gateway back, isn't it? This is the big one. This could do so much for them. They get this right. 9 obviously on the board. Money's still good. They get all of the wibbly bibblies, all the goodies coming through. Been around Alex too much. I can't even describe what that means to people. You know what I mean? There's just no chance of it.
It's a non-starter.
It's a non-starter, you're right. At this point, 5-star stand. We just see, again, look, I love a team who keeps a clean anti-eco.
Yep.
This isn't even really an eco. It's a bit of a Chico out there. I heard an NA caster trying to claim that. Absolutely.
Not happening.
Absolutely not happening. And it's not as clean as we'd like to see it kept. Kriya. Good work towards Loki, but a lovely answer back from Brams. And a good closer. So, clean enough. More than clean enough at this point. You've still got 4 alive. If it gets below 3, then we start questioning, really. But where's the crab? Any other crabs? There he is. Hey, crabs for life.
Did you just say crabs for life? That's a chant, yeah.
Yeah, last one. Yeah. Add it to the book.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, thank God we're in attack timeout.
Yeah, we love to really dwell on those moments.
Yeah.
Nothing like
Moving
nowhere to move.
on. This is the important round now for me. You look back at the timeline here, and you can see Vitality striking back after that round 18 loss, actually, to find another 2 in succession, and this is going to be everything.
What is that? Is that a bear? It is.
I'm very disturbed by the color filter that we're looking at it on, though.
Yeah, it being in the kind of black and white thing, it's not great. It's like my webcam days on MySpace, you know? It's not pretty. You think you're doing something, but you ain't.
But this is the one that could turn the entire game, because potentially this victory will tie the game up, right? It's Vitality
on my way.
Then putting NIP back down to a reset.
On my way.
And it'll be Vitality going to double digits, and only 1 round
right here
left to tie things up.
Right here.
I have to see. Vitality want to, again, keep up with this pace. The pressure's on for NIP now, right? Vitality can be the ones to force the issue.
Take flight.
Dog at least saw... I know it's like the Tasmanian tiger. I call it dog. I don't... You know. I'm pretty sure it saw enough. And yeah, Vax found Kriya. Oh, that's horrible news. But Brams on those back lines. NIP aren't getting an inch back towards his site. This is straight up Vitalities at this point. Spike can be planted. There is an ult pop on the other side. Can it deny the plant? I think it has. No matter of how long. Flank comes in, Sender catching. Yeah, everything's just crossed off right now. This is a perfect round from Vitality at this point.
That is so disciplined there. Again, the Hunter's Fury, yes, to deny the plant, but it's also to buy them, 3 to 5 seconds on that flank, right? And Sender posted just perfectly to greet it. It's such a good read. Things like that are often things that go underappreciated in Valorant, but just such a fantastic decision to just sit there and say, guys, hold up a second. Let's deal with the other threats right now. Sender finds the flank.
Yep.
They can take a comfortable plant once again. And I want to take a look back at this, because that TP from Brams probably one of the ballsiest TPs you'll see from an Omen. It's on the back end of where the Viper walls cross on B site. So it's such a weird timing for it. Again, you are so hyper focused on that choke coming into B site that one TP just completely throws around off kilter. And he gets in, and I'm not sure if he finds 2 or just the 1 initially, but it's enough to just draw attention away and allow Vitality to throw bodies on site.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to be Brams catching the flank there, but as you said, the TP came out and then Sender kind of took over that role. That definitely changed things up. Now, look at this approach coming back in from NIP. They've just gone, now we're stacking, boys. Put 3 on B and let's get Aggie. They're actually going to invest the blades towards it too. Doggo goes out. Going to at least reveal Shalabi there, but you can see the swing from the window is going to be trying to dissuade what kind of knew to what that hit could have done, and it's weathered the storm perfectly. And they've run through a decent amount of utility on NIP, not everything in the stock, but a fair amount.
I mean, I've got to say, Vitality have looked so good at handling some of what NIP are trying to pull off in these lesser purchases. Now, JD positioned to hear all this information back through his mid-rotation, but unable to find that one. Loki actually gonna get the better of him there. Sender once again posted up. This is so well considered from Vitality and so clean once again. 5 alive. He spotted another player on the flank. Look at this from Sender right now. Another round where he's
Flawless.
yeah. That contingency plan, that safety net for them. Will allow NIP to get away with any of that cheekiness.
It's now, I almost want a tactical timeout for NIP here. I don't know if they've already used it. They might have done. If I'm honest, I haven't been keeping track. And, you know, oops. But just to get a grip on how they want to answer this, an overall kind of maybe consideration as to what the plan is now, because their money's still kind of scuffed, right? Like, look at it. It ain't nice, and what they've got Eccles is ult. It's not really enough to instigate much. It can give you late round information, but look at the early play from Rhyme there. He just dipped in towards A main, had a little look, didn't see much, and kind of fell away from it. So I'm interested to see what they do with this now. As it is going to be, so far at least, as it stands, Vitality leaning towards that B site once again.
Yeah, Korea under a lot of pressure, and saying that Loki actually going to find the opening onto Chihuahua here. Once again, Vitality with a man advantage. And NIP, 3 sheriffs and a marshal here. Korea?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, it's not long. You get spotted on B side like that, it's not long until you just flushed out with utility like that. And again, that combo absolutely deadly. The shock dart and the snake bite.
Oh, the flank. If Loki wins that, yeah, I think that one's now been cut off for the knees. I thought there was a bit of a chance for JD getting this far ahead. They seem aware of the chance of it. The swing, the check, didn't go deep enough from Vac to fully commit to it yet. JD's been able to creep a little closer. Hearing all of this finally reveals position, but Sender's spot is... it's not normal head play, but if you take the fight, he's gonna... What? This makes it possible. It's not ideal.
Okay.
Oh. Loki keeps it safe. 12 to 11. I got nervous there.
Not even close, yeah.
Match point.
This is not where I thought we were going with this one. It's map point, sorry, in favor
Enemy remaining. Last
of
player
Vitality here. If we dial this back to like round, what was it, round 10, we were looking at 8-2, 8-1 the scoreline initially.
Yep.
Look at it, yeah,
Huge.
7-1 we started off it.
out of my way.
Which is
The ult as well.
a testament to how well Vitality are playing right now, honestly, Lauren.
Screen down.
It truly is, and when you're staring down a scoreline like that, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, to kind of get in your own head, but they stabilized. Now let's see, 12 to 11.
Toxins going up.
OT on map 1.
Toxin screen down.
And on IP, I'm sure are livid at this. And somewhat of a default to begin with. No investment yet on the Viper wall. At least for the attacking side. And the double face... They're going to face through this. It looks like they want to. You can see Shalabi... Oh, he was so aware of the
Spike
chance of
down
it,
A.
but Rhyme beats him to the punch. No trade for Vac available. Falls away slightly from this now, but are they going to keep going this way? I mean, they've just lost Brams as well towards Tube. It's the first time we're really seeing this A piece come out this late in the game, and it's working through the ult.
That's
I
a big
don't
win.
like this for Vitality. It's great for an IP, but this feels like Vitality just ran out of steam in this round.
Yeah, Vac does actually slip away from the Viper's
30
pit,
seconds
but
left.
only 2 left standing. This is 5 and 20 seconds left on the clock. This is when the desperation, the paranoia starts building. Rhyme hits that one tap through the wall before it drops. Loki can't find a headshot, but we'll get the reset on Chihuahua, actually. 13 seconds left now, and it's looking like we're starting the day off with an overtime.
Yeah, you know, like, okay,
Do you know what
so
I've been
there's
avoiding saying? Just that one word, overtime, for the last like 6 rounds, but here we are. Who'd have
I
thought?
know. Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, and this is if you've been watching a lot of the kind of lead up to this part, you know, we normally say that we always get given the OTs, the 3 maps, you know, the crazy long series, the technical timeouts. We get all of it, right? We get the messier end of the stick, as people like to say, I think. However, we decided that actually it was Mel who had the curse, who was the observer we worked with, because then it obviously went towards
did.
Mitch and Tom.
It did, yeah, it did. Who are usually actually part-timers. They were about half as many hours as us, right, in terms of the series. The actual number of hours put into the broadcast. But here we
Obviously.
are. Here we
Here
are. NIP. Obviously, with that side change, going to be on their attack. No initial play for the orb outside A. Now, again, going to be a fast piece towards B. We're gonna have a look. Actually, yeah, a little. You tell us the wall will go up, so give some of the information away. No way did Loki. Gets tagged there and actually manages to escape once again. He gets double tagged by the same Aldron here. He's crossed it back over the other smoke. He's a madman. He's tagged by the recon bolt.
Is he okay?
He
Is
should
he
not
just-
be alive right now. That's a little bit of a whiff on the side of NIP, honestly. That's you gotta
Opportunity.
take those. You gotta take those.
Yeah.
Boys and ores emitting.
The opportunity is knocking.
Toxins going up.
No, okay.
Poison's off.
Now, seeing nothing there might give away this concept that they're going back maybe through spawn, but it's a mid lean thus far. 4 players in middle. Dog reveals at least one of them, but that's not the full picture. You still have Chihuahua waiting on the sides here. This is still going to be that pinch towards B, or so it seems. I want to keep my eyes towards it. A lot of intention shown here, and Sender, the timing could be everything to catch him on the heels.
He slipped behind him.
He's heard the steps. Oh, Chihuahua, that's a freebie every day of the week. Now, do they cancel? They're so far into this, they've got to commit, right? Shilabi's now on the back of the side waiting. He's going to lose the teammates around him, but he's still standing tall. Flash comes in, takes the fight, wins the fight. And Vitality hold the line. As Chihuahua took down 1, but the rest all stood their ground. A brave fight from Shilabi there, maybe feeling himself. 2 of them in a line. Do not do that. Do not do that.
Switching
What are the
sides.
odds on that actually happening?
Match
There,
point.
they literally lined up perfectly.
Yep.
Okay.
You play to the whistle, boys. We don't we don't do that sort of thing. I don't love the
Again,
was just in the middle of the open.
I got to say this as well. I was talking about confidence boosters. Did obviously
Yeah.
Shilabi stepping into this, and again a high pressure scenario, right? In terms of elimination looming, it's good to see him find rounds like that, man. Be the rock in place on A site for Vitality.
I think he's been that the whole time, though. I mean, he's been really solid. He's always bails them out with like 2 kills, maybe even 3. Buys a great deal of
He's
time.
good for his. He's good for his.
Exactly. We haven't seen much beyond that yet, but as a plug-in play player, that's exactly what you need. This is the position you're going to play in. Do some damage. Wonderful. Right. That's good enough. Now, let's have a look as to what we see here from the attacking side. Now, Spike is towards B for now, and a heavy rotation coming out from NIP. 4 players leaning to the B side.
This is it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. NIP looking like they might want to walk it and actually send out a probe. Oh no.
This could be a disaster in the making. Loki gonna see one loses the fight. Rhymes there, but the trade comes in. Sender excellent play with two. But what is
Look
this
at this.
absolute madness that just went on? It's Vac now left in a 1v2. Wrong site, wrong time. Spike not to hand. Chihuahua and Kree are like, all right, if that's how we get going again, no problem.
And the problem being, Vac obviously sent out the recon bolt to start the round, so they know exactly where it's coming from. So Korea has all the time in the world to hit this rotate. 20 seconds left. He has to end B, and both members of NIP set up here. Operator in hand for Chihuahua. The jump spot come through.
Dead.
Imagine doing something like that in overtime. I mean, it's just so unorthodox, but
Switching sides.
Vitality are even set up
Overtime.
to greet that aggression, but everything goes in IP's way. What a beautiful round.
Let's watch this back.
Spike down.
Sender.
Last player standing.
It's impressive to see. I mean, Sender almost saved that.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, he really did, and it would have been him once again to kind of be that, like I said, the contingency, the safety net for Vitality in that scenario. But it was not to be. NIP back on the attacking side, and we go again.
Take flight. Enemy tag.
A little bit of info found. It didn't quite dig out the sky on sight, but that's going to be great work from Chihuahua. Finds Vac, and that's going to just kind of slice off those rotations. It's kind of a 2v4 on the site, pretty much. Shelby is still alive here. Unnoted. He does finally get revealed, gets found, but he's still finding space. This man
There's
knows
so
his
much
lines.
pressure. There's so much pressure on him.
Truly. Bram's trying to come on in, help him out a bit here. NIP in the rattiest of positions, making this very difficult. Rhyme now being removed is a big scalp to be claiming, but NIP in the post plant, what do they have left in this? Kree is still there. Utility now invested. He knows he's trying to buy the time on this.
They could just, I don't even think they can spam this. Chihuahua actually going to get a kill on the diffuser. Going to get a lot of damage as well. The kill's coming through for NIP. Look at this, Lauren.
I'm looking at the diffuser right now. Loki is sitting on this one. He's not going to get off it for love nor money.
It's so unfortunate, the timing of the smoke.
Switching sides.
Just a half a second either direction. And that sight line opens up for them. That's a heartbreaking round to lose. Look at this as well. I mean, it's... It's the domino effect, right? It's one thing after another. JD on the reload, back on the reload here. Like I said, half a second either way. And he gets that.
So close.
Oh, no. Now I'm
this is
worried.
where-
That's a rattler
Yeah.
in overtime.
Absolutely is. And NIP's defensive side has brought question marks to us, but that could be a game changer. Early picks. Gonna help out and then some. That's Loki removed. Rams wants one back, walking straight up tube here, but you can already see that on the other side, Chihuahua is watching this. Now, does he expect to play it close just yet? Not too much. He's still kind of focusing towards that end of tube side. Holding for now. They hear the owl drone coming through. They'll know that's intention again. Utility shown on the timing for Brams could not be better. He's hearing these steps. Can he get the punish? No! Chihuahua quicker on the trigger. Bram's gonna be made to feel silly about it. And now 5 still stand. Make it 4 this time. Shalaby is not gonna lose that fight against the other Sky and opens up a chance. Ooh.
Oh, this is disastrous. Again,
It's not
throwing
done
out,
anything.
Nope, they throw out the flash, no info on the back of it, but NIP are walking through. Shotbeer Rhyme opens things up onto Vac, and that might stop Sender and Shalabi in rotation here.
30 seconds
Or,
left.
I guess, yeah, maybe not.
Korea didn't need to face that open on it. Quick flash comes in. No one's close. So not too worried about that close box on the left, but there's still that face coming out that could be an issue. JD watching for this. Tries to get the timing, doesn't get the tag. 10 seconds on the board now.
One enemy
Timing is going to be a
remaining.
key factor.
10
JD
seconds
finds
left.
Sender, and now Shalaby, last one alive, put down 14-14.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Okay. I mean, those of you who haven't consulted the script, obviously we know overtime doesn't end after the single or the double.
No.
Potentially the triple.
Well, yeah, look, sometimes you do get triples.
What a round, though. Again, I love the intention there, but the fact that, again, NIP are just, they're not afraid to just flip the script, be unorthodox in overtime, and it's so difficult to make reads on this because it takes so much in terms of investment, in terms of risk, to figure out these sorts of setups. And like I said, to run them in overtime, we didn't even see NIP do this in regulation.
Rams forced away. They're putting a lot of pressure down towards Chew right now. 2 players having to respond accordingly. Chewy blind as a bat, falling away from it. 3 players were here from NIP.
No real damage done on the way in, though, so it will reset back. And look how deep Vitality are happy to sit right now. Other than Shalabi, really. Sender going to hit that rotate towards Loki. Once again with the operator. No armor available. We know how much pressure he was under previously. But the spike will remain on A side. Now, that's interesting because it's drawn the 3rd player. The flash is going to come through.
30 seconds left.
And you can see Bram's considering it. Meanwhile, Rhyme walk up will actually backfill Shalabi. This is beautiful.
This is gonna be a retake 5v5 sort of scenario. Oh.
Enemy down.
Oh! How is he
Area.
that confident to sit there and just fully commit that no one would have walked maybe up towards triple box? But that's an issue neither here nor there now, as Vitality have to work this back in with 4, and then look at the flank here. Look at this timing coming out. Let's see how it works through for Eccles. He sees the gun barrel. He knows what's happening. So many of these kills are just well positioned, well timed, and a little unfortunate, you might say, for Vitality as Loki, Vac, and Brams. What are you meant to do with this?
Chihuahua. Also, for good measure, makes his way up tube. The backstab from Bridge will not note Loki's position, but down to 31 HP, and just a formality now. The time ticking away for him. Not even a consolation. Eccles will stamp this out. NIP will convert their attacking round here.
Match point.
What's the response from Vitality? What's left in the tank? It's so exhausting to do this on map 1 of a series as well, Lauren.
Yep.
It's so strenuous on these players.
It is. And shout out to the Observer for going this far out of the map this early on to get this lovely
Speaking
scene.
of strenuous, look at this dinner party. Really building into the tone there.
Yep. My mental well-being after the OT in map 1.
My 4 brain cells when we're in triple overtime.
It truly do be like that. And Vitality are putting up a fight here, but I need to see what else they've got. Viper being used for the smokes at this point. Oh dear, 2 noted. Big info. JD's now under scrutiny. Leans a little away from this 3-2 split. The 3 portion plays back in. Sender gets him off the back of that ping. Rhyme tries to catch him on the cross, not going to get it, but Sender on the punish. Good play forward from Sender. Expecting the flash, tucked himself into the corner. Eccles up on the bridge. Ooh, peaks advantage and then some. Man's been swinging, but it is a 3v4.
Yeah, and 20 seconds left on that flash, which is a big... Loki takes his eyes off that angle for just a moment here. He will escape for the time being. And up here got to find something. They've got to find it fast here, Lauren.
They really do. They've got to get a move on, otherwise this might be done for. It's looking like it's already a little cooked at this point. Good work between the 2, but time. Keep that in the back of your mind. They do not have a great deal of it. Flash goes in. Catches nothing. One's still on the side. One's in the smoke. Korea can't dig him out of it. Shalabi's right there. Eccles does well, but at this point, keep your eye on the spike. It's about to go up, and we continue to move forward. 15-15 now.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Switching sides.
The response
Overtime.
straight back in from Vitality, and now NIP back on the attacking side, and it's grayed out. I think the pressure is building here.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly so. Vitality put the brakes on here. Again, a little back and forth even in the overtime, right? You'd expect really with way the first half of this went. NIP to look way more comfortable, at least on their attacking sides. But I'll say that's leaning a little more in favor of Vitality for me, at least in these overtime rounds here. Yes, it's nice to see NIP get a little fruity on the defense. Let's see, how far do NIP go with this kind of, like I said, getting unorthodox and getting a little bit weird with it?
I mean, how much do they have? If you've got someone like Eccles joining the roster, how much do you have in the tank of these weird rounds? Like, you know, you're slotting in. So a plug-and-play player like Shalaby, I'd say, fits in easier, right? You want to bring in some firepower, a bit of a fragger. They still fulfill a similar role, right? Yeah, of course they have to learn, you know, a couple of bits and pieces, the looks of the team, maybe the set pieces that come through. Because, you know, again, you'll be facilitating someone that play, especially as a Sky. But if you're looking at Eccles, who's more of your utility man, your kind of IGL, that's a big change-up, hold-up. Loki gets away with his life. Didn't land the tag that he wanted, or at least ideally the kill. Didn't get anything really for that.
This is big now, because they know where Shalaby plays, they know where Loki has to go for a heal, and NIP look like they're about to punish that, Lauren. They're very quickly encroaching towards B's side. That's drawn the rotation, they know it has to happen. Aldrone going to stop things initially. It's actually Shalaby that's going to backfill Loki on B's side. I think the window of opportunity is passed here. This is a mistake from NIP, but Chihuahua finds the entry.
Pausing for thought, maybe seeing if they would get over aggressive somewhere, but for now this is quite fine. They've crossed towards the side, but look how many players are in towards CT. 3 of them all lined up there, playing towards the wall too. 1 deeper towards CT, which is Loki, and then Brams playing towards more middle. How is this going to work out? 5v4 post-plant. Utility... Shalaby's got a fair amount. Keep that in mind. So he might be able to facilitate something. There's that first flash gone, catching towards the back side. Chihuahua's going to receive it, but it's fine. NIP have several other angles to work on. Shalaby can't do enough with this.
This is such a beautiful round. When you think about the knock-on effect and all the little things, if we talk about conditioning as a factor here, the knowledge there from NIP, they know exactly where Shalaby plays. They know that it's an operator that Loki's purchased. Those tags are going to put him so low on HP. They read it perfectly. And in my eyes, like I said, they almost missed that window of opportunity, but it came down to a half second, and the fact that they find that entry on Sender gifted them the round on the back of, what, 2 or 3 Vandal shots. Just that damage done to Loki in the early round. What an amazing way to punish a play like that.
Yeah. At this point, tac timeout comes in, because that might... As much as these are obviously tactical, this is probably more just to get your head in the right place, because you've just had a bit of a kicker thrown to you there. That's
it can be really deflating to try and get aggressive at this stage of the game and it be stamped out and then be punished. That, I guess, relentlessly. I mean, that harshly. You got to say it. Just that one peak alone effectively lost Vitality that round. Honestly. It created such a huge opportunity for NIP, and unfortunately, they capitalized on it.
Yeah. Brams.
And I'm fine with it. Like I said, I've accredited the same thing to NIP, right? You got to get weird. You got to get funky in overtime. You've got to try and, you know,
Is Brams opping weird enough for you?
It's a little weird. I'm going to be honest. It's
is that weird enough?
I like weird. That's all I'll say.
4-play stack towards A weird?
We're walking it. Why not? Why wouldn't we walk cave at 16-15?
I love it.
Let's talk about the information here. They've spotted one player. Vitality now noted this aggression.
Who did they see then?
They saw Sender.
Who took the fight? No, on the other side. Who was it that got contact? I actually don't know. Because that could be kind of big information on either side, that if it was a player that kind of maybe sits deep swing towards B or one of the first rotations towards B, you'd be like, well, no one's here. What? It's a really weird start to a round, because there's not been a big response. Yeah, Loki's been lost, but that was towards middle. That would have happened, I feel, either way. I just want to see what happens now. The rotation, look how deep they're sitting on B. This is a full retake. This is we're never going to be trying to take that fight on B. And last time that retake didn't go so well.
The important thing is the setup's been here from the start, though. Look at this retake wall that's already set up. Korea has aligned this along both pillars, right? They pretty much can't play. They can play site, but they're not going to have any information, Lauren. Look at this. This wall is perfect.
That's such a unique way to do it. Very much aware of the possibility. So I wonder how this plays out, because keep in mind that last retake from the other team didn't go so well. But look at this flank coming in through middle as well. Sender around the back. He holds. He waits. Kriya's found two. JD's found another. Sender, this has to be the flank of all time. And he's just about whiffed it as bad as he could there. That's not gone well. And yeah, there you go. This is going to be just icing on the cake. There's nothing more to be said nor done. Sender, a good attempt to deny, does take down Eccles. He can't do any more. Too many bodies simply put in the way. And NIP break Vitality's comeback run.
Hey, what an overtime that was. That was one of the more enjoyable to see. And I got to say it again, NIP, to have the presence of mind to pull off those sorts of rounds in overtime